Factually inaccurate. Morally correct. This is Babylon Bee Radio. Our top story. The White House grounds have entered a lockdown following the sighting of a senile old man wandering around, waving a gun and making outlandish demands.
Folks, no more automatic weapons. You hear me? I'm serious. No more Gramble Garp. I traveled 1,700 miles, million miles. So come on, listen up. Ghost guns are banned. No Congress needed.
Witnesses claim that while the man appeared to be well-dressed, he had no clue who or where he was, asking, "Where's First Lady Kamala?" and asking why nobody's taking him seriously. He made bizarre claims that he was the President of the United States, that 81 million people voted for him, and that his butt's been wiped. The White House was forced to release a statement instructing people not to approach the out-of-touch and armed individual. They also recommended just letting the man continue to make his speech as if he were actually addressing the nation and his words actually had legal authority. At publishing time, the confused old man was safely apprehended by a tactical team and enjoying an ice cream cone on the way back to his nursing home. Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has drafted strong legislation designed to unilaterally ban ghost guns.
Why would you allow ghosts to have guns if they're dead already? The gun would simply fall through their hands. Besides, every gun in the hands of a ghost is one less gun in the hands of people who really need them, FBI agents. And in conclusion, what if a ghost does learn how to use a firearm? They're scary enough already. A gun is like the last thing they need. That's why I'm proposing legislation to stop this nonsense at once.
Democrat colleagues tried to explain that ghost guns referred to 3D printed and unmarked guns made by libertarians, which they also oppose, but this only spooked AOC more.
Okay, so what do we do if the ghosts learn how to make their own ghost guns with 3D printers? We'll never be able to stop them.
AOC then called the Ghostbusters to capture all the ghosts before they could ever acquire ghost guns, but abandoned her effort after learning that the Ghostbusters also use ghost guns. At publishing time, AOC dropped the legislation after finding out it would disproportionately affect Democrat voters. In a related story, investigators working with the Israel Antiquities Authority have claimed David used an illegal ghost sling in his famous battle with Goliath. Experts allege the ghost sling would have been untraceable, which would account for why Goliath was caught off guard so easily. Scholars have suggested that Goliath's victory would have paved the way for his nation to become a mighty power. They claim illegal ghost slings are directly responsible for Philistia's fall. Investigators have submitted their findings to an academic research paper, where it will later be used by politicians for personal agendas outside of its historical context. In a televised address to 1.4 billion beloved citizens caged in their own homes in the name of health, Chairman Xi Jinping introduced the Chinese Communist Party's new head of COVID policy, Dr. Anthony Fauci. Fauci's prepared acceptance speech was heavily edited by CCP agents.
It is my solemn pleasure to serve the happy and free citizens of China as head of COVID policy. I look forward to continuing China's perfect record of zero deaths through proven measures of stringent lockdowns, quadruple masking, and compulsory vaccinations.
Dr. Fauci has since warned the country that the entire Uyghur population has been infected with a dangerous COVID variant and should remain in camps indefinitely. BLM leaders are calling for more nationwide protests this summer after discovering a fantastic home in Malibu Beach that they should easily afford if they begin riling people up now. Co-founder Patrisse Cullors appeared as a guest on CNN's Don Lemon Tonight to get the word out about a need to protest something.
BIPOCs are constantly marginalized and stuff like that. For example, I bought a $6 million home with BLM donations and was heavily criticized for it. I had to resign as executive director of BLM. That's racism at work. We need to hit the streets now. Then I can finally get that Malibu beach house I've always wanted. And if anyone criticizes it, we'll just say we bought it as a BIPOC creative community space or something like that.
Prominent black female Ketanji Brown Jackson was asked her opinion on why people incite peaceful protests to help greedy people make money off of worldwide outrage. She answered, quote, "I don't know. I'm not an anthropologist." By popular demand, every Buc-ee's location will now add a dozen barbecue sauce pumps to its existing 512 fuel pumps, allowing Texans on the go to pick up gallons and gallons of sauce for their barbecues. A Buc-ee spokesman was quick to remind everyone, however, not to confuse the barbecue sauce and the gasoline, as only certain models of Chevys can run on barbecue sauce. Should the sauce pump program prove successful, Buc-ee says their fueling stations will add sweet tea pumps in the fall. We turn now to a cogent op-ed by special guest commentator Keith Olbermann.
My fellow Americans. Trump, 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 Trump!
And if something isn't done, we'll lose our democracy.
Now you're up to date on the only news that matters. Find more fake news you can trust at babylonbee.com. Until next time, this is Austin Robertson, the voice of the Babylon Bee. So long.
Hi, Justin Trudeau here. I am so sorry you had to see that. Their videos are problematic, eh? Whatever you do, don't like, subscribe, or comment. It just encourages them, eh? These guys joke about things you shouldn't be joking about. And quite frankly, and pardon my French Canadian, they're real jerks.